Hey there, music world. John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest record from Mr. Bill Callahan, My Days of 58, one of my favorite singer-songwriters of all time, Mr. Bill Callahan, ladies and gentlemen. He's been at it since the early 90s, quietly becoming one of this generation's greatest folk singers. Initially, he was putting out music under the name Smog, and during that time period, he put out a slew of essential records if you are into lo-fi and alternative country. Albums like Red Apple Falls and Knock Knock and Dongs of Devotion. These are just essential records in these categories. But over the years, as he was putting out these lo-fi classics, his albums were getting warmer, more personal, more poetic. And while I did enjoy a lot of those early Smog records, and I still do, it wasn't until around the time that he started recording under his own name that everything clicked even harder for me. Albums like Sometimes I Wish I Were an Eagle and Woke on a Whale Heart and The Hypnotic Apocalypse showed Bill just branching out into very rustic, very warm textures. Not only that, but there was plenty of really warm and rich storytelling that I really appreciated as well. And Dream River, this thing has aged wonderfully. One of this generation's best folk records. I love just how fluid and jazzy it comes off. Totally free-spirited, too. Now, I will say, in the later years, Bill's music and it's been a little bit hit and miss. Have Fun with God, the dub version of Dream River, it was okay. And Shepherd in a Sheepskin Vest, it's got incredible moments, but I found this album to be really bloated and boring at times. The Gold record, though, was pretty cool. Actually, one of my favorite folk singer-songwriter projects of the year that it came out. Now, the last time we heard from Bill was with Reality, and it was okay. Once again, I thought it had some really great ideas here and there, but once again, this thing was bloated, it just was long, and I just kind of felt like disconnected from his music. Now, leading up to this project, I thought Bill was putting to tape some really great singles. And let me tell you, while another very long affair, Bill has a lot to offer. This album starts off with Why Do Men Sing? It is a 7-minute, very rainy day folk ballad. It's subtle, it's patient, and it's incredibly heartfelt. I mean, Bill's music has been biographical for a while now, but the songs on this album seem a little bit more revealing than usual. I love the horns and the harmonies that pop in, and Bill's very bluesy delivery is fantastic. It all works beautifully, as does The Man I'm Supposed to Be. Yeah, this one might be the best track on the record. This was easily the single that attracted me the most listening to this record. There's just such a sense of finality in the lyrics here. This is really Bill bearing a lot. He sounds tired, very reflective, and even laughs in the face of death on this track. It's very grim, but I love just the stripped down guitar parts of this track and just how it complements his production performance. It gives this track a little bit of a gruff swagger. I love this. You also get Pathol OG, which kind of leans into the direction of that very psychedelic Apocalypse record that he put out. It's hypnotic and it's very charming, though, and once again, his autobiographical lyrics are done very well. I mean, listening to this track just feels like I'm catching up with an old friend after not seeing him for a few years. Not only that, but the momentum keeps going with Stepping Out for Air. Really love this track, too. It's another long one, but it definitely blossoms as it unfolds. I love the way this track just builds, growing more rich by the second, and by the time that this track's finale rolls around with Bill constantly repeating the word Gabriel, it almost comes off like a mantra. I mean, Bill's been doing this for decades now, but if the first string of tracks on this album show anything, it's still that he has a lot to offer. Now, I will say this. Once again, this album is long. It is over an hour. A lot of these tracks stretch over 6 and 7 minutes. And sometimes the unbearably stripped down nature of the track list does work against it, sadly. Like Lonely City, for example, this one, it's not the worst track here, but it just seems a little too stripped down and a little repetitive. Not only that, but it's just a little bland for someone as great of a creative mind as Bill. Empathy has a lot of the same issues. I mean, lyrically, it is still a gold mine, and I won't take anything away from it. Oh, but this track just has this energy that just gets way, way, way too close to this sleepy territory. We also have Computer, which is probably my least favorite cut here. This one's just an awkward, shuffling folk track that never really seems to find its footing. I mean, Bill really tries here. This is probably the most experimental cut of the bunch. But it comes up more directionless and clunky and awkward than anything. My least favorite track. However, this album does rebound pretty nicely, and it has a very strong stretch towards the end. West Texas, I've been hooked on this track since it dropped as a single. I think it's one of the best tracks here. I love the warmth and the sincerity of the lyrics here, and the ambiance of this track just sounds like you're taking a nice long drive down the highway and appreciating the sunset. And I will say also, Bill doesn't do anything wildly new on this record. He just does a lot of these sounds a lot of justice. But then I hear tracks like Lake Winnebago, and it's just this incredibly cozy, warm folk tune. Love the slide guitar and the strings floating through the background and the warmth in Bill's performance. Love Highway Born as well. This one's one of the more upbeat tracks here, but I love the imagery on display and the lyrics. It's one of the most visual cuts here. And Dreamland might be the best deep cut on this record. It's a little rougher and grittier than the other tunes here. The guitars definitely give it a little bit of a bite. Honestly, I wish we heard more of this sound here. And The World Is Still is this smoky, beautiful finale. And there's barely any instrumental here. It is just Bill very solemnly giving a speech over this very drifting, dark ambiance. And it's interesting. I wish it just packed a little bit more of a punch. Overall, this is a very solid record. I mean, Bill's been at it since the early 90s, and he's already given us so much great music. But while he doesn't do anything wildly new on this record, what he does reminds us just who the hell he does. He is. The storytelling is here. It's personal. It just feels like catching up with an old friend, one that is, feeling very introspective and revealing. It's warm, it's cozy, and don't let its length, scare you away, because most of the tracks on this record flow very nicely. Feeling a very light 7 on this album, but let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.